Hello everyone. I'm Darkness, and this is an update. I'm going to keep it as short and sweet as possible. Before I say anything, everyone that's on this channel more regularly will know, wow, words are not going to come easily because I'm a little emotional. Will know that this is my full-time job, and I need to be making more content for all of you guys because this is how I get paid to pay my rent and to support my son. And for everyone who's kept a membership or supports me during live streams or random super thanks or just anything else, just watching an ad for me, I really appreciate it, especially since I have not really been here all that much. Now I've got Dawn Trail right there from Final Fantasy 14 ready to go. Like it's pre-release, whatever. It's what's today? The 18th and 28th of June. Let me cut to the chase. Since April, something's been going up with me, going on, whatever. There's two things that have been happening simultaneously, actually three, but we're just going to concentrate on one thing because it's the question of, it seems innocent. How are you doing? And are you doing better? How's your son? All that. Um, there are personal things I'm going to make a separate video about once they're resolved. People should know exactly what I've had to go through. When it comes to legal stuff, people should know what I've gone through when it comes to like my parents and family being sick. Just not because I'm sitting here trying to dictate what you should do, but the idea that you're not alone and that there are ways to do something about it. I've constantly been sounding like a broken record where I even want to eye roll right now saying that I've been sick. I've been sick consistently, and it looks like more often than not that I tell people I'm not feeling well. Um, and I don't really have a good answer when people ask, how are you doing at my streams? And I be polite and everything. But then there are breaks where I haven't been here since like April. And this is where I really want a teleprompter because I just want to say it, get it out there, and then go play some Dawn Trail from Final Fantasy 14 and stream it, record it at the same time so you guys can see the graphic update. I've been sick for a long time without knowing what's going on. That since my teenage years. And 20 years later, I don't know still exactly what's going on. It puts me down on my back. It causes a lot of ailments. It's not just, for me, it's never been something that's a small issue because it gets in the way of me just living, being a dad, being able to be doing my job. If I'm not working, I'm not making money. And so if I'm not making content, I can't pay my bills. So like it really does behoove me to actually get in front of the camera and stream. Since April, I've said something's going on. I got answers now. I got answers today in a way that I didn't want. Today's June 28th. I got a call that those who have shown up have heard celiac disease thrown around. That I haven't been able to, at some point during the channel back in 2018-19, those people who were there will know that I couldn't eat solid foods for a year and a half. Could not eat or digest. I couldn't keep them down. That was one of a few different symptoms happening. And most of them involve the idea that like I get knocked on my butt over and over and over. It feels like I'm a broken record, and I'm sorry to anyone who feels like they've had to hear it over and over because it seems like I have the same things coming up over and over where I just harp on it. I'm tired of it too. I'm tired of it, and it's not that I'm tired of talking to you guys. I just want to make a blanket statement until I know more of like asking me how I'm doing, if I'm okay. It is totally an act of kindness. I know you're doing it from the bottom of your heart. You actually mean it. Like 99% of the people that show up to my streams actually do when they ask that care about my answer to that. I don't have good news. I don't have celiac. I guess that is good news. It should be. The bad news would be that the person who called me with my test results that I requested didn't stop talking. It's a two-part test. I don't have anything that ends in ASE breaks down the other thing. So if you're lactose intolerant, it's because you don't make enough lactase. If you can't break down things like gluten, there's a test to see how you're doing with the other side of it, the enzyme that should be helping you. You test for that, you see all those things, you respond to your immune response specifically to that. You're also testing because it does damage to soft tissues with inflammation, and it is an autoimmune disease. You test uh, immuno, immunoglobulin A. Immunoglobulin A. I always want to say like goblin. I was making that joke earlier today, and now it just screwed me up saying something. Um, I don't have celiac. That's not the part of the test that came back bad. It is my IgA level skyrocketed. And now looking in the past, it's been elevated. It's something that's been gone under the radar because usually when you have something inflammatory going on, a lot of sicknesses that can cause it or any anything to do with your digestive tract, it's usually going to go up. Suffice to say, I wouldn't be making this if it was just that simple because it's the nurse that called had the doctor's notes of what they believed was going on, and instead of letting me have the medical knowledge I know of thinking there's a lot of things that could cause that, so I can she narrowed it down really fast without being able to give me answers. I directly asked for that person to go to my primary care physician and let them know so I could talk to a doctor about it and have a back and forth conversation, or talk to a gastroenterologist or another specialist. I don't want to get into what she said. I will just say all of it is bad. Um, and until I can talk to a doctor about maybe he guessed wrong and his write up was a little off, all of them, the way I am now might be the best I ever get, and it might just be a decline from here on out. It's not fun to think about it that way. Yes, I still have an abdominal herniation, an epigastric, not actually umbilical. I need to have that sewn up still. Yeah, I had my deductible paid last year on my insurance so I could have had it done. I got it finally done. We all as a community came together to help me pay my medical deductible because I'm that pitiful of my job doesn't give me medical benefits. Thanks, YouTube. But I digress. If I had gone and gotten surgery, I would not have been able to be there to help my dad stay alive. So I don't regret that at all. But this test result finally does say that after a string of other things that we've missed, it's never been something I made up. And it's not. Come Monday, doctors are going to be taking things a lot more seriously because it's putting in perspective that I've never exaggerated what's going on with me, and it's probably worse. I am hoping it's not. And having medical knowledge is a double-sided sword at this point because it's scary. And I've had about 3 or 4 different meltdowns or breakdowns, whether it's being crying uncontrollably today or anger that a nurse would shut up when I asked her to just tell my primary care physician instead of me. I don't really want to make this video long. Glanced over and saw it's already 8 minutes. Don't know if even people will watch this long, but it could be bad. It's not good. And it's not something I'm faking. And I've been accused of being a griefer many times over, which gets really tiring hearing it when you're on your back in pain and not knowing why. You can't eat, can't sleep, can't move from nausea, can't see, you lose your eyesight, can't move because you lose your ability to walk, pain, tingling, numbness, just not being able to be a dad, a good son to my parents, a good friend to anyone. Why you are just stuck on your back again, not even knowing what the day looks like because you're blind, or trying to hang on by a thread. I swore I wasn't going to make this any longer than it had to be. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not doing okay, and I don't know what's going on exactly, and I don't want to think too much more about what she said, because I know the most likely candidates, and all of them are... I don't get better anymore. It doesn't have to turn out that way. It's just the doctor's preliminary notes based on my medical history, and now knowing that my IgA being high is not just a fluke. It is an actual symptom that's been there for more than 20 years. It's just now we know, since it was a specific test, and we know that other variables are out of the picture, it's an autoimmune disease, most likely. It's not celiac, but it's not inflammation. It's an autoimmune disease. I don't really have any more to say because I don't want to break it down. Don't want to say what the doctor inferred and thought off notes because it was just a nurse reading it that didn't listen to my wishes of not wanting to know without being able to ask a doctor why he would infer that. It's scary. It cuts my life short, and it makes it so that how I am is the best I get. And I can just only expect it to get worse or to have treatments that let me maintain feeling awful. On the bright side, I'm in a lot of pain for my herniation, and that is actually repairable. I can actually get my gut sewn up, but there are pockets of tissue that now won't go back in anymore. So now it's becoming another critical issue that I thought I could put off for another year if I had to in pain. I can't. I have to deal with that. I know I sound like I'm just full of issues, and I apologize for that. People that show up to my streams and watch my videos shouldn't have to be subject to the idea of my personal issues all the time. And I don't mean to come off as some griefer or asking like I call myself like an internet like busker basically, because without you guys' support, I don't have money to live. I want to become a nurse. I'm working on that. I'm studying hard. I'm studying really hard. That's actually part of the problem because if I had less medical knowledge, maybe I wouldn't realize the trouble I'm in if the doctors are right. My son is hurting because my son's not doing all right either. Because he knows his dad isn't doing all right, and he just told me that a few hours ago. That's the thing he worries about the most. So, yeah, questions about that? I'm just going to deflect, and I don't mean to do so. It's the only way I know how to just kind of move forward. I'm going to now go stream Final Fantasy 14 Dawn Trail. I unlocked Viper. It's actually my favorite game to play just consistently. It's not Resident Evil as a hint, and it's not a lot of things that people would think. It's not like one franchise. It's Final Fantasy 14 specifically. I like the story. I like how it plays. I like the challenges. There are other games I could get up there, but I'm going to go do that. And I'm going to try to post this right before I go live. So if you see this, now you know. When I have more concrete information, I'll let you know. You'll see little things where I say that your support's appreciated because I'm going through medical issues. There's no doubt that to get to the bottom of this, I'm going to have to rack up my deductible again, thousands of dollars more just to hope for a better answer than the ones I've got now. And that isn't even me bringing up the idea of legal stuff that you guys should totally know about because I want to be open and transparent, and that my parents are very sick, and I wish I could be making this video about how can we help my parents. My dad and my mom deserve much more than life has given them. My dad is bedbound and my mom has multiple sclerosis. They're two of the strongest people I've ever known, and the world has forgotten they exist, and I'm the only thing I've got. Like they've got left. And that's not fair to them because they deserve way more than me, and I'm just it. But no, it has to come down to being about me again. I don't have main character syndrome. In fact, I would like to be in somebody else's story where I can just I hate this. I don't want to be sick. But yeah, autoimmune disease of some sort. We'll figure it out. And I'll get back to you when I can actually speak with the doctor instead of a nurse who's just going to tell me things that I believe in her deepest heart of hearts. She's gotten so used to her job, she didn't realize that when a patient said no, he didn't want to hear that part. It's because when you narrow it down and the patient actually knows how medical treatments go for those things, what your lifespan is for those things, and what your quality of life is for those things, and they tell you that on a Friday and offices don't open until Monday, you're going to have a bunch of... I should end it here. Thank you guys so much for watching, for supporting me and my son. And I hope to see you guys around for as much content as I can get out to you guys. I'm going to try again to be more consistent. I know I promised it over and over, but at least I got a step closer to knowing what the hell's been happening to me for so damn long. I'll see you guys over there if you are there for a live stream. Bye.